Hello and welcome to the July edition of Community Connect, brought to you by the Marshall Chamber of Commerce. Got two guests this month, and they both represent the Rotary clubs. One is the Sunrise Rotary, and one is the Noon Rotary. David Haen is the chair of the Sunrise Rotary, and Haen Ziemer, who was just our guest a few months ago, is the chair of the Noon Rotary. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. Let's talk about all the good things that happened in June. The pizza battle is in full force. Have either of you participated in the pizza battle?
A couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. If you might remember the burger battle that happened in the winter, it brought in $13,000 worth of economic impact. So hopefully you go out and try some of these pizzas. The participating restaurants include Atlantic Place, Varsity Pub, KB's in Ghent, Wings Axe Company, Rolling Hills Pizza, which is the food truck, and that's a dessert pizza, by the way. The Gambler, the Fairway at the Marshall Golf Course, City Limits Bar and Grill, Tavern 507, Key Largo on Lake Chautauqua, and Bitten's Roadhouse. Go out and check out some of those pizzas. Put a vote in. It goes through July 26th. The Marshall Municipal Band Concerts kicked off for the season on Wednesday, June 5th. It goes all the way through July 17th of this month. The concerts are held in a band shell of Liberty Park. Starts at 7 o'clock each and every Wednesday night. So go and check out those bands. Mega Bingo was sponsored by Marshall Festivals, which is another name for the Sounds of Summer. That was earlier in June at the Red Baron. This also brought a good turnout, so thanks to everybody that came out for Mega Bingo earlier in June. Also, actually that same night, there was a dedication ceremony for the Joseph Amato Research Center. He presented on how Southwest Minnesota became home, 40 years of living in a studying a place. Of course, Joseph Amato was a professor right here in college, and it was a great turnout as well that evening at the museum. Speaking of the museum, the escape room is now back, but this time it was actually at the museum. I know there's been a number of groups that have gone out and participated at the escape room at the museum. Have either of you guys?
I haven't done that one.
No, not done that one. Okay.
Haven't done it.
Yeah. And so it was actually, last year was at the Lyon County Fairgrounds. This year it's actually at the museum, and the theme this year is game show. This goes all the way through the end of October. So go take advantage of this and help support the museum. One of the largest gatherings in Southwest Minnesota was this past week, and I know Aaron was there. It was Vicky's Camp and Country, which was held in Redwood Falls this past weekend. A little wet, but it was still a great turnout. Sawyer Brown, Jody Messina, Easton Corbin, Cooper Allen, plus there were some local bands. Aaron, tell everybody that's watching a little bit more about Vicky's Camp and Country.
Well, it was a lot of fun. Like you said, a three-day event out there between Marshall and Redwood Falls. I think those of us that drive to the city sometimes call it the Delhi Freeway.
Yep.
But so it was kind of right out there. It's really a beautiful setup for it. She has a great location. And it was a really great show. Saturday was the day that I spent most of my time out there, and I got to see Cooper Allen. And I'm telling you, that guy can perform. That was impressive. Sawyer Brown's always great, right? Yeah. But Cooper Allen was outstanding. So it was great to see him. I think they were very happy with turnout. I just have had a couple of texts with Vicky since Saturday, but I think they're very happy with turnout and looking forward to next year. They already announced their headliner for next year. It's going to be the Castellos. They're going to be coming out on the Saturday night. I think it's July 10th through the 12th for the show next year. So, it was a terrific event. Good,
and it's very exciting. For those that have gone to WeFest or Winstock, it's our version in Southwest Minnesota, and it's only going to grow. So it's very, very exciting.
Yes.
So, anyway. So as I mentioned, the theme this month on Community Connect is Rotary, and we have two Rotary clubs this year. And as I mentioned, Aaron is the chair for the Noon Rotary, which was chartered in 1944. David Haen is the chair for the Sunrise Rotary. They meet on Thursday mornings at the YMCA, and I should have said that the Noon Rotary meets at the Wood Nickel on Tuesdays. And Sunrise was chartered in 2003. Again, thanks for being here. Tell our watchers, tell me more about Rotary.
You want to take it, or you want me to take it?
I'll let you start, and I'll branch off.
Rotary is a service organization that really is, that's what it's about. It's the whole principle of service above self. We try to do projects for Rotary International, which is works very closely with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Really tries to go after fighting polio. That's one of the big things about that. They've done some great things with Hope Harbor, which is a wheelchair program for those that maybe don't have the financial ability to get a wheelchair. So that's been a great program and helped a lot of people out. That's centered out of Sioux Falls. So those are a couple of the more larger things we do. We also do a lot of local service projects, from adopting a highway to raising money for the local United Way to a lot of other different things. So, and even some local projects from time to time. I know both organizations have had quite a bit of involvement with some of those things over the years.
Mm-hmm. David?
Yeah, we, along with full polio as one of the national ones, a lot of the Rotary International bases itself on some of the environmental, some of the drinkable water issues that there are around the world, dealing with things like that. Other things that Sunrise does is we just started this year in town with planting trees along some of the parkways. So we're getting some of that environmental stuff that they do internationally back here at home, especially with the big ash borer stuff hitting town here. There's a lot of trees that are disappearing. So it's our way of putting the trees back up in the community. And the idea of both the clubs, some of the stuff we team up together on, some we do on our own, but again, like Aaron said, it's putting service above self and just doing what we can to make the community in Marshall better for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Rotary is one of a number of service clubs in Marshall. There's two, like I mentioned earlier, there's 2 clubs. Tell me about some of the particulars about your clubs.
Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. We during Sounds of Summer here, we'll do our annual pancake breakfast on I believe it's Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. We do it. We just wrapped up a couple of weeks ago with the Shades of the Past with our hamburger stand out there, and this year was an extremely well turnout because I believe it was it the anniversary of the Mustang that they were focusing on out there. I could be wrong. I remember it was something to do with that. But good turnout there. We have the Rose Sale coming up, and then we've done some service projects with helping getting the pickleball court going here at SMSU, and there's already talk about the new aquatic center and so on, and just other projects coming up that we hope to take part in to see those through.
Sure, Aaron.
The Noon Club is it's exactly that. It's a meeting of a group of, I don't know, we're probably about 20 people or so right now. We meet down at the Wooden Nickel in the meeting room on Tuesdays at noon. The cool thing that I like is it's a great way for us to hear more about what's going on in the community, to be active in some of the things in the community. We bring in speakers each week. In our club, we have student Rotarians, which come over from the school, and you get to hear about the school programs and how the model of service is being taken by these students and what it means to them in their lives today. So I think those are some great things that differentiate us a little bit. Our big fundraiser at Sounds of Summer, of course, will be the duck race, and we have tickets on sale now. I know somebody that could probably sell a few if somebody is out there looking. But yeah, it's a lot. That one's a lot of fun for us because you get to go run around in the river for a couple hours and chase some ducks. So it's a lot of fun, and for Sounds of Summer. So that's one of our big big activities coming up. But then, like we said, it's just finding projects and finding ways to volunteer. One thing we do is on the first Tuesday of every month, we go and we pass out food at one of the local churches where they do the food pickup. So I mean, we do a lot of those types of activities that make a difference in people's lives every day.
Mm-hmm. How does one get involved with the Rotary?
Well, it's really quite simple. Come to a meeting. We'll probably recruit you if you show up. So you can either come to our meetings at noon on Tuesdays at the Nickel or down at the Y on Thursday mornings. I think we both have been to both meetings from time to time. So it's really kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was going to say that going in my third year, just part of Rotary here, and it's amazing just since I've joined Rotary how much there is in Marshall that I was not aware of, and what's all going on, and things like Heart to Heart and what United Way does, and just all the stuff in the community that just living here, you just kind of blindside. So for me, it was just a great way to have the wake up of what I'm missing that goes on in the community.
Brad, if I could jump in for 1 second, just on that note, I mean, I think of both of our clubs, and I don't want to speak for the morning club, but I know our club wants to grow, and we want to bring more people in and have more involvement. That's, as serving as the president here in 24, that's going to be one of our major goals, is how do we bring more people into our clubs, into our organization. You hear so much from people in Marshall that, especially maybe some of the younger groups, we've got to find ways to get in with some of the younger professionals today, but you hear so much about, I wish that there was more service projects I could be involved with. I wish there were more organizations, and I think we just have to raise awareness and raise knowledge that, hey, these things do happen in Marshall. We have some great organizations that people can be a part of, and we want to make a difference in Southwest Minnesota and in this community, and I know our club wants to do that. I know from talking with their club that's a big priority. And, that's one thing that we really want. So if there are people out there that are interested, please come to a meeting. We'd love to have you down and to be involved with our groups.
Yeah, people can't use the reason for being too busy at night not to attend a Rotary meeting, because there's morning meetings and there's a noon. So I remember when I lived in the Metro, there was a requirement that you could not miss a meeting week to week. Is that still the case? Could you, if you can't make noon, could you go to morning? If you winter in Florida, you can go to the meetings down there as well, I would imagine.
There are a lot of things that can be done today. Again, one thing that our club has done is we have instituted or put in this corporate membership where a business can actually have one or two different people that join the Rotary. I know that's how I got involved with Rotary, is Marshall Radio purchased a corporate membership, and we had 2 spots, and I'm one of them, and when I can't make it, somebody else can go, or we both can go, as long as we pay for the meal that day. And it's really pretty easy and pretty able to do that. I know that used to be a requirement years ago in Rotary, where they used to say, you can't miss a meeting, and I think there are probably still some people that abide by that. But for me, and even as the president for the Noon Club in 24, there's probably going to be some times, and I'm going to have some things that come up, but just with the nature of how my life goes. But yeah. Well,
and I think attending now has become even easier because our snowbirds that we have in the morning club, they log on via Zoom. And they'll join us every Thursday morning just through Zoom. So even if people are out of town on vacation, we still have them. They're still able to chime in.
So, Aaron, I'm always impressed when we talk about getting involved. You have mentioned the high school Rotarians. Talk about how that whole process starts. How do those students get involved? Up on the screen, you can see right now a big picture with a new Minnesota flag, and it was really neat at the high school. How do they get involved?
Well, there's an opportunity where they can actually sign up through the school to be student Rotarians, and I think it's a little bit selective from that point on once they sign up to have interest. But then once they are student Rotarians, they come in our club, they get introduced to us in one meeting. So we learn who they are, we learn their family, and we kind of say hi. But then what they do is they prepare some remarks for the next meeting. So when they come back the following week, after they've seen a student do it and after they kind of know what the meeting's all about, when they come back the second time, that's when they actually prepare a 3 to 5, maybe 7-minute speech, depending on the topic. And it's usually a service, how service has played a role in their lives, whether it's through school or through athletics. And then at the end, the great thing is like there are Rotary scholarships available for students that they can actually help them with college. So those are some things that they can then apply for, or that they then can move on to receive. So there's some great opportunity there for them.
Absolutely, man. It's a great way to plant seed with these kids, because we want the kids to be Rotarians at some point too.
Well, and I think both of our clubs have somebody from the school district within them. So, when it comes to applying, and you said that, there's kind of a pick and choose from there, having already the connections with the school benefits. We, in the morning, do not have, as of yet, regular student group that comes, but working with the CEO program and all that, that's one of our goals for the future here.
Absolutely, the CEO program is pretty important. We love the CEO program. We've had guests for the CEO group the last 2 years. Aaron sits on the board of directors for the CEO program. Different topic though. I kind of mentioned the band shell earlier. They started their bands earlier in June. That is one of the projects right now by the Noon Rotary. Aaron, let's talk about that. Well,
it's not just going to be a Noon Rotary project. It will be a morning and Noon Rotary project when we get to that point. Where we're still at in the process is both groups would like to do some type of fundraiser for the band shell project. Where we're kind of stuck for a moment is we're waiting to see exactly what the needs are with the Liberty Park band shell. I think anybody who's been by it has probably seen that it could use a little bit of work. How much, the scope of that work, exactly what we're doing. I think there's been some proposals out there. I know I had a chance to bring Preston Stensrud in to present to our group about a month or so ago, and I think he presented to the morning group a little bit before that. There's definitely some need. There's definitely some dollars there. How much of that has to be local dollars, we're still trying to maybe figure out to see how much a goal would be for us to raise for that project. But it is something that we are in the process of. It is something that we're having conversations about. Both groups have a couple of representatives. I'm one of them that meet. We've been meeting at the radio station of places to meet just in our conference room to have those conversations to start moving that ball forward. But we're just kind of waiting to see exactly what is the need. I think once we figure out what the need is, we can figure out how we want to go about, trying to raise some funds for it. But we're still trying to maybe get to that point a little bit.
Yeah, and not just raise the funds for it. As Aaron stated, the needs. We just don't want to give the dollars and say, here, use it on the band shell. We would like to know what part of the band shell that we are contributing to, right. and kind of the same with the aquatic center. We would like to make sure that the money is put towards a certain part of it to make sure that part of each project gets done, right. Instead of just giving a lump sum and telling the city to just use it for wherever you need it.
One way that they did it years ago was the Rotary clubs. Actually, the morning club, I think, was the one that really got behind it years ago when Liberty Park was upgraded last time. They sold bricks. and they sold bricks. It could be something like that again. It could be something where we went and we've at the radio station, when I say we here, that's what I'm talking about, but we have a service where we could do some online auctions or something to raise some money as one potential avenue. It's just trying to figure out exactly the right way to move forward with it, and what the right time is. Those are kind of the big questions we're trying to figure out right now. So.
Yeah, and I think the bandshell project, the last I heard, it all isn't all set in stone of what's going to be done. So again, that's one of the things that probably both our groups are waiting on to find out what the exact plans are and where the help and support is needed.
Great.
The drawings that I've seen look awesome, but yeah, it's just we don't exactly know. Is there some state money involved? Is there going to be some local money? We just don't know. I mean, we don't have all that stuff figured out yet, and when we get there, I think we'll be ready to roll it out.
Great.
Well, good. Well, this is impressive. So thank you both for being here. Thank you for all your time you've put into Rotary and into the community. This is day number 2 for both of these individuals being the board president of their group. So it's pretty impressive that they were willing to come in. If you had mentioned, obviously, if somebody wants more information or wants to join, they can just show up. But if they have questions or if they want to just give you a call, what's the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me is probably just through my email. It's pretty simple. It's aaronz@marshallradio.net. That's the one I use for Rotary. So I mean, if somebody wants to reach out to me, that's probably the easiest way to do it. But yeah, we're happy to have you come in. We are actually running a program in the Noon Club right now. Bring a friend to Rotary. I'd be happy to bring you in as a friend that day and see where it goes.
And the next meeting would have been earlier today. The next meeting will be on July 9th, Tuesday, July 9th at the Nickel.
Yeah, and maybe don't come to that one because I got to give some big speech at that one, and I'll probably bore you to death.
Right. We got to make sure it's a good program. Right? David?
Yeah, I know in our brochure there, the contact information is actually Sharon Hansen, and her email is the one for the City Hall there.
Yep.
So she's kind of our main contact person, but again, it's if you know someone who is in either Rotary Club, or if the noon doesn't work out and you want to be involved in the morning, it's just a matter of connecting with the right people, and we will make sure that you get invited if you are interested. And I know one of our goals is making things more diverse. Spreading the age gap a little more, spreading the
gender,
the businesses, so we aren't all the same, coming from the same group. So the more the merrier.
Great. Well, good. Again, thanks for being here, and I look forward to more news out of the Rotary, and especially that bandshell project. That's exciting. So.
Yes.
Let's talk about other good things that are happening in July. As I mentioned, today is Tuesday, July 2nd. Of course, we have the July 4th celebration out at Independence Park. Fingers crossed that the rain holds off, or at least holds off, or stops right at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, so we can have an evening of fun at Independence Park. So food vendors to open at 5. Singing Cues, our local group, Quinn Horvath and Quentin Brunsvold, will start at 6. 7:30 is a city band concert. Special guest, 8:45, Jocelyn Rose, who was from the hit reality TV series The Voice, will be on at 8:45. And the fireworks display, which I don't know if you two have seen it before, but it seems to be getting better every year at 10:15.
Haven't missed one for about 5 years.
Yeah,
so.
It's gotten better every year.
Yes.
So come on out, put some bug spray on, and come out and watch the fireworks. The David Drown Golf Classic, which was originally scheduled for June 18th, is rescheduled for next Friday, July 12th. This goes to help with student scholarships right here, student athlete scholarships right here, SMSU. Aaron, I would imagine you've golfed in that before.
Yeah, I've golfed in it quite a few times, and I'm planning to golf in it on the 12th.
Yeah,
so.
I'll be there too. It is a 8-person team, which makes it a little bit more unique. The following Monday, which I know Aaron has been there before, is the Pride and the Tiger Golf Tournament.
You're going to get me in trouble with all this golf I'm playing.
It's a good time. I'll be at both too. So the Pride and the Tiger Golf Tournament is on Monday the 15th. This goes to help support youth scholarships at the high school, plus many other initiatives in public and private schools here in Marshall. This tournament is also accepting teams and will be played at the Marshall Golf Course. Crazy Days is on July 18th, with the bulk of the activities in downtown Marshall. There will be details all over town, but Main Street will be closed in downtown. So come on out, do some shopping. There'll be all sorts of good deals Marshall-wide. The Chamber State of Agriculture event is scheduled for Tuesday, July 23rd at the Lyon County Fairgrounds underneath the Hoop Barn. This has got to be about our 7th or 8th year. This year's panelists include Eric McVeigh with ADM, Carolyn Olson with Olson Organics, Brad Verley with Minnesota Western Technical College, and Ben Anderson with Congressman Fishbach's office will be on the panel. Ken Fransky will be our facilitator, and he works for Central. Thanks to the many, many sponsors for this year's event. Again, a lot of different events with the Chamber this year. This month. We have a business after hours on the 17th as well, and that'll be at the Marshall Golf Course. And that actually is going to be hosted by Performance Food Service. So come on out, enjoy our activities. All these events in July can be found at our website at marshallmn.org, and also take a look at the events on the visit page at visitmarshallmn.com. Thanks again, Aaron. Thanks again, David, for being here this month for our guests.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll see you in August when we have Desiree Petrick. Desiree, she'll be talking about her book. Actually, the next day she'll be hosting her conference, which is on Wednesday, August 7th, I believe.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.